I'm taking the cheapest flight every day for a week to see where I end up. And to make things interesting, I've set myself 3 challenges to complete along the way. And having just spent the first day in Dublin, it was time to head to stop number 2, Paris. I've just left the hostel. It has just gone 3 AM, but I did get a fair few hours sleep, so I'm not feeling that bad right now, except for it being a little bit cold. We've got to go get the bus to get to the airport for 4 AM because our flight is at 6 AM. Luckily, one of the city buses goes to the airport 24/7 and it's like €2.50, so it's not that bad. Let's get to the airport. I've literally just got through security in like under 10 minutes, even with a drug swab on my bag. I wish I'd stayed in bed for the extra half an hour and got here like 90 minutes before my flight, because I've got 2 hours now until my flight with nothing to do. Want it?
Stand up for me.
Thank you. We have landed in Paris, well technically Paris-Roubaix, which is miles away from Paris. About an hour and a half away on the bus, which we're going to go and catch now. I'm starting the morning with a crepe. This is going to be my breakfast. It's got banana inside and a little bit of sugar. This is a French food, so this is what's counting as the French food that I have to eat, because the national dish is a stew, and I feel like that's going to be the case with a lot of countries in Europe. The national food is going to be stew, so anything that's synonymous with like French food is counting with me. Can't go wrong with pancakes. Crepes are always unreal. You can never get a bad crepe. Today is definitely going to suck because I'm going to be doing a lot of walking around Paris, and I don't have a hostel tonight. I'm going to be staying at the airport, I think. So I'm going to be carrying my bag around all day since I've nowhere to put it. And it's starting to rain, my back's starting to ache a little bit. This sucks, but there is the Arc de Triomphe. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, I might have butchered it. But that is the first point of interest, and it's going to be easy, the points of interest today, because they're all quite close together. Like the Eiffel Tower is probably only like a 10-15 minute walk from here, and then you've got like the Louvre, you've got the PSG stadium, you've got loads of points of interest in Paris. Paris is literally going to be just me eating all day, I think, just at cafes and bakeries, eating croissant, flan au chocolat, baguette. Like, it's just, I don't know what the accent was there, but yeah, it's just gonna be me eating like bakery stuff all day. There it is, the Arc de Triomphe. I'm in a tunnel now where you can pay to go under the arch, but it's €13. I'm not doing that. Paid €15 yesterday from the library, but I couldn't see that from the outside, whereas I can actually see the Arc de Triomphe from the outside. I don't need to pay to go underneath for €13. Is ridiculous. The Arc de Triomphe was commissioned in 1806 to commemorate those who died during the French Revolution and the Napoleonic Wars, but Napoleon would never see it finished as he died before it was complete in 1836. It was also the largest triumphal arch in the world until 1982. I definitely feel out of place here in Paris. It's just like so like bougie. Like I'm walking around with combats on, Vapor Max, you know, like a waterproof jacket. Everyone else is walking around in like loafers, like nice like dress jackets, like proper pants, and I'm just here, big backpack, combats, trainees. Like I feel dead out of place. The architecture too is just incredible. It's like the pinnacle of European architecture. You get it in like Spain as well, but it's so much better than English architecture. Right, we're gonna go get a warm, fresh baguette. I've got my French baguette, but half it's sticking out the bag, so I'm gonna have to eat half it right now. It's not warm, unfortunately, but it is freshly baked. It's still soft. That's a solid baguette. Standard baguette, good stuff, nothing fancy. It's such a dull day in Paris. It's been on and off raining all day. Right now it's raining. Let's go find a cafe, get a nice warm cup of tea and get out this weather. It's still raining. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to avoid this rain. It's just constant all day, on and off, and we haven't got that much time. So Here is the Eiffel Tower. We are on our way to get as close as we possibly can. I'm not sure how close that's going to be, but we're going to try. But we're not going to pay to go up there because the weather is really bad, so we're just going to look at it from down below. What's crazy about the Eiffel Tower is that in the UK we have Blackpool Tower, which is basically the same thing really, but this is like the branded version. This is like your Gucci and your Louis Vuitton, and then we've got like the Primark version in the UK, which is the Blackpool Tower. Anyway, this is the second point of interest that we've seen in Paris. Now it's time to move on to the third and final point of interest. As I'm walking around the Eiffel Tower here, I've just been approached with the bracelet trick, which is where someone comes up to you and they try and make you try on a bracelet, and then they'll be like, oh, it might be free, or just try it on. And then once it's on your wrist, they'll demand the money from you. And sometimes they might just take it off and not do anything, but other times they can threaten you and get violent. So I knew already what was going to happen there, so I just walked straight away. He didn't follow me, which probably shows that he's probably not like a violent one, but yeah, it can happen. We've got the iconic glass pyramids of the Louvre museum, the big one in the middle and then the two smaller ones either side. You'll see these on pictures everywhere. This is such a bad day to be out in Paris. The rain is just ruining it and it's cold, but here it is. It is the biggest pyramid out of the three. I have no idea where the entrance to the museum is. Maybe it's there. There are doors. We're just gonna go and see the small pyramids as well whilst we're here. I was mistaken, there's 4 pyramids, not 3. There's another smaller one at the back of the bigger one. I didn't know that. I thought there was only 3, that's all I could see, but there's 4. We're gonna go inside the Louvre and see the world's most famous painting. It's absolutely huge in here. Just look at the size of it underneath this pyramid. I hope you can actually film within the museum, because otherwise I'm going to be paying like 15 euros for nothing again. I've only got an hour. They told me it closes at 5:30, so we've not got much time. We're going to just focus on seeing the Mona Lisa because it's the world's most famous painting. The Louvre is home to over 35,000 pieces of artwork, which if you spent a minute on every single piece would take around a month to actually see everything. And I've only got 1 hour, so I'm going to see barely anything, just a handful. You could easily spend a whole day here. I probably should have came a little bit earlier. I got stuck in the rain a little bit. If you're an EU student and under 26, you get in here for free, which is really good considering it costs 15 euros otherwise. Unfortunately, the UK had Brexit, so I had to pay the 15 euros. Although the Louvre is now a museum, it was once Palace, the Louvre Palace, which was home to some of the French royals, but it's also been used as a government building as well in the last few hundred years. Now obviously it is just a museum. There it is. There is the most famous painting in the world, the Mona Lisa. Here we are with the world's most famous picture, the Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. That's a crazy picture as well. Like, look how huge it is. Imagine how long it will take him to paint that. That's crazy. If you've been following my channel for a while now, you'll know I'm not one for art museums. Like, I'm not a big fan of art, but the building that this art museum is in is incredible. Look at the architecture of this hall. Like, you've got the marble pillars, I think maybe marble arches, I'm not sure, glass roof illuminating the whole hallway. Like, this is incredible. I'm not gonna lie, the building and the architecture is actually impressing me a lot more than the paintings. The paintings are incredible, but just look at the actual building itself. Out there you've got like a spiral staircase with, look at the sculptures. Obviously that is artwork in itself, but I meant like the paintings. An hour in there is nowhere near enough time. I've only seen like one section. There's 3, there's that one behind me, and then there's that one there. I think there's 3. Although, to be fair, I think a lot of it's closed because of restoration, but still, if it's fully open, you could easily spend like 3 hours here maybe, but an hour is nowhere near enough. Now the only thing left to do in Paris is to go find some vegan pastries. I'm looking forward to a croissant and some pain au chocolat. Let's see if we can find it. I've got myself a croissant and a cinnamon roll. Couldn't get a pain au chocolat. They weren't vegan, although the reviews did say they were, but this was the closest place to the Louvre and I didn't want to walk around all day. We're gonna break this and see what it's like. That's a good croissant. I think it's got a strawberry flavour. It's good. Fun fact about the croissant, it's not actually French, it's synonymous with France, but it's actually Austrian and it was just adopted by the French, so now everyone thinks it's French, but it's not. I've had an absolute stinker. I was planning on sleeping at the airport, but Paris Bouvet is a small airport, so they close at 11:30 and open at 6 AM, which means now it is gone 6 or gone 7 and I've got nowhere to stay. I'm walking to a hostel now. It's £33 just for the night and I'm only going to be there for about 5 hours because I have to leave at 3 AM. It's not ideal, but there's nowhere else that I can go. Checked into the hostel and it cost €40, which is steep, so steep. That's why I wanted to sleep at the airport, because I'm only here for a couple of hours. This is the room. This is the bed. It's alright, like it's got a plug next to it. Anyway, tomorrow we are headed to Cluj-Napoca in Romania.